Let us continue with our lesson, and the next step would be that to create our request and response data class for us. So if you notice that in the Postman, whenever we are sending a register to the user, we are sending some of the like name, email, password, and password confirmation field. And when we are receiving some response in the JSON. So we need to convert it to our data class and also this to our data class so we can pass it to our post request. So let's go back to the Android Studio, and over here in the remote, let me create a package of let's say request request, and also of another package that will be of a response. So response response, and the request we will create a one data class in Kotlin. So I will call this as GISTR register request, and we need to convert this class to our data class because we will be making use of our data over here just for a data purpose. And when we have a data class, we need to have a primary constructor with a parameter. So if we go to the Postman, we have to pass the name, email, password, and password confirmation. So just go over here, and what I will do is we will create a variable of name, and sorry, it should be of a name, and that's sorry name, and that's of a string data type, and variable of email, and that's of a string data type too, and also of a variable name, email, and password we need to pass, that's of the string. And finally we have a variable of password password confirmation. And now we have successfully created a data class with the name, email, password, and password confirmation. So why it's showing that, okay, so we need to pass as a string over here. Okay, and we have a variable of name, email, password, and password confirmation. And for a response, if you go to the Postman, we have this response from the server in a JSON format. What we need to do is we need to copy this one. First, let's copy this one. We need to create a response data class for this one too. Let's go back, and if you right click, and I have already installed one plugin which is Kotlin data class from JSON, so I'll be making use of this one. So install this one, you can go to the file setting, and you can go to the plugins over here, and in the plugins you can search for we can search for Kotlin, or we can, I think it's the JSON to Kotlin class. Just search for this plugin over here in the marketplace, and you should have I have already installed it over here. So it says JSON to Kotlin class. That's the extension that I have installed, the plugin for a Kotlin to convert JSON string into Kotlin data class quickly. So you can just go and search in for the plugin in the marketplace, and you should, why it's not searching, I'm not sure why it's not able to search. So maybe of net connection or something, it's not able to get in, but you can just search in over here the plugin. Let me try to search it, and let me try to show you how to install it. Okay, so it's finally able to search it, and you can see that I have already installed this Kotlin to JSON to Kotlin class, which is already installed. So you can just install that one. So after you have successfully installed that one, just restart the Android Studio, and when you right click over here, we will have that Kotlin to data class from JSON. So just click on this one, and we'll pass the response that we're getting from a server, and we'll get a create a class name. We can just say as response, and go to advanced and just select the val, the keyword as a val, and I think annotation we will make use of JSON. Make sure you select the JSON over here, and other, I think that should be fine. And yeah, I think that should be fine. Just click on OK for now and just click on generate. That will generate a file. So if you go to response, and it has generated a data class for us, which is a register response. So you may be wondering that another thing, what is the serialized name? So this is basically used for the two purposes. One is to serialize and deserialize the field that we have created, and another is for the code obfuscate. So let's say that you have enabled a Gradle build, and you have enabled a pro card and enabled a minify. At that time, our class get a randomized name, and as well as the properties, all of these will have a randomized name. And at that time, it may not be possible to map the JSON request and the response properly, and it will cause an error or unwanted or unexpected things to our application. So the serialize will help us to keep the annotation that you have provided over here when the code is obfuscated, and it will have a proper name. So let's say this is, maybe it will get a random name, but still it will use a serialized name as a name. So it will help us in a code obfuscate. And another one is to serialize and deserialize. So let's say you have created a variable of a user name over here, but the response is actually it's of a name that we are getting from a server. So when we put a serialized name over here, it will make use of this instead of this one. So that will help us to map to accurate field. So we can have a different variable name, and we provide a different value for our serialized name. So that is the two main purpose of this serialized name annotation that we have make use over here. That was automatically added by the Kotlin data class converter from a JSON. And we'll just copy this one, and we'll just put it into the same as a register request. And I will add on top of this one, which is of name, and this is of our email. Just change it back to email, and this is of our password. Yes, system provide the password, and finally we have this one as a password confirmation. So that's it. So we have successfully created a two request and a response data file for our API. So later we have to make use, and we have to pass it in our networking over here, sorry, in the network service. So we need to pass it the request and a response. So let's meet up in the next lecture, and the next lecture we will go and configure our interface, network service interface. So till then, have a great day.